proposition is, are trans women women? Bruce. Oh wait, trans women are women is the proposition. Bruce is affirming. Capp is negating. Go ahead.
Okay, give the argument, dumbass bitch.
Alright, well, I'm gonna start giving my argument, and then Steph, it's just the same thing that I've sent to you. But essentially, it goes a little something like this, right? Premise one: if social categories are defined by social roles, expectations, and treatment associated with it, as well as properties shown in society, then individuals who occupy those roles belong to that category. Premise two simply just grants the conditional in premise one, and then the conclusion there is just that individuals who occupy those roles belong to that category. Of course, we're just following something as basic as modus ponens. Some primitive motivators simply just might be that like many trans women occupy that type of social role that's associated with the women that are treated by society according to the norms directed towards women. So for example, there might be these types of stereotypes that are shown in some type of like epistemic format, like wearing lipstick or dresses, etc., etc. But of course, I really want to get into the main types of arguments, or sorry, the main types of views in which are sufficiently motivating for the premises, which is really what I think we need to crack down on first. So, Cap, I mean, like, do you have an issue with, Putnam's view on the twin Earth thought experiment?
I don't know why you started having about a twin Earth thought experiment, but I guess we could just get into some clarity on the conditional premise one. When you say social categories, what exactly is being said there?
When I say social categories, what is being said there? That was the question.
Yeah, retard.
Yeah, retard. Nice one, buddy. That was a really good rhetorical line. You fucking idiot.
Instead of repeating the question back to
Oh,
me verbatim in a way that I asked you,
monkey,
you should
shush,
answer the
monkey.
question
Right,
like a good
shush,
little bitch.
monkey.
So go ahead and answer the question.
Shush, monkey. Right. So I'm just
What
gonna
the fuck
look
is
at
that
you
rhetoric?
so I can hear myself. You fucking retard. Look, a social category, right, is simply just imperative by roles, expectations, and treatment associated. Right? If you read premise one, you'd understand what the definition of it was, because it's entailed in premise one, you fucking retard. Right? So, I don't know, maybe you just didn't plug in the fucking ears there when I was telling you the argument, right? But look, it clearly says in premise one, and I clearly said in premise one, if social categories are defined by social roles, expectations, and treatment associated with it. Look, I mean, like, I don't know where the knuckle dragger thought he was going with that type of clarity question. But anyways, just answer the question now that I asked you when when you tried doing that dumb fuck clarity question.
Well, I don't understand why that question is going to be pertinent to the dialectic, so maybe you can motivate that first before I answer that question. But regardless about that question, because, we just hand-waving that away because I don't understand why that's pertinent, can you just give a structure argument for premise 2?
Wait, I don't feel content to move on to premise one when we haven't covered to move on to premise two when we haven't covered it. Also, you didn't answer my question. Are you familiar, or at least maybe just since you're not answering the question, you'd rather just be more accepted or motivated towards saying that you just are okay with agreeing with Putnam's view on twin Earth thought experiment and semantic externalism. So is that the case?
That's not an entailment. I don't understand why
Okay,
you're
then
making
answer the
that.
question, retard.
But look, this is what we're going to do.
Answer the
We're going to
question.
answer the question that I
Answer the
asked you because
question.
you
I
actually
asked you.
have
I
that
asked you
verdict.
it way before. Answer the question, dude. You're being pedantic on purpose. Answer
Yeah,
it.
why is it pertinent to the dialectic that I answered that question?
Because
Establish
obviously
the
it's
relevance
relevant as a
relationship.
motivator for premise one and for the rest of the argument, you fucking retard. Hello?
So you're gonna motivate the Putnam's thesis? Is that what you're gonna do?
Obviously, but it's motivated towards
Okay,
the
perfect.
actual
So
argument in favor of
motivate
the
the
actual
thesis then,
proposition,
retard.
right? So, of
Motivate the
course, I
thesis
could go
then
ahead
instead
and
of
do
asking
that
me these
for you.
dumbass questions.
Look, I just have a question. Look, do you understand what we're talking about when I say that?
Understand what?
Yeah, semantic externalism and Putnam's views on how you put it.
Well, we're going to get you to get some clarity there. But I don't understand why these questions are
Okay,
pertinent.
wait, you
Maybe
need
you could
clarity
just
for like what, the fifth
explicate the
time again,
thesis
retard?
and then
You know,
prove your
don't
claim.
worry.
So that's
Don't
what we're gonna do.
worry. No,
Explicate the
don't
thesis
worry.
and then prove your claim.
I'll give you the clarity
Prove your
that you
claim like
need, since the question that I asked you was in relevance to premise one, and it just seems like you already immediately moved on to premise
you
two
still
after
haven't
trying
established
to
the derivation
fairly,
relation.
like just like completely failed to
True,
attack
and
premise
still
one,
haven't
right?
established the relevance
Look,
relation.
right. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give you the clarity, right? We're gonna give you the clarity. So look, in reference to Putnam's views, right? Look, he has this really estranged view. He doesn't really cover semantics that often, but when he does, he talks about semantic externalism, right? Semantic externalism, again, is just the meaning of words are somehow constructed by other means in the world than just the mind, right? So this could be imperative through social examinations, the surroundings, the cogito cogitatum, etc., right? And then we just move on to the motivator for externalism, right? Which is simply just Putnam's Twinner thought experiment, right? That is the motivation. And so essentially what Putnam says is this, right? Let's say that there's two worlds that exist. One is ours, and then we have some type of random parallel, like other universe that has our Earth. And then let's say that in this world, we let the chemical formula H2O represent water, right? But in the second world, right, there might be a liquid that is also taken to be as the chemical form of H2O, but that world might not use the term water. It might use the term alcohol or retard or Capp is a fucking bitch and he's getting blown out by me right now, right? And might use that simply just because of the different types of social norms, expectations, cogito, cogitatum, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? And so, of course, you'd be more underlying or motivating and believing in semantic externalism. So, look, I just want to be clear, Cap. Do you have the rundown on that? Do you understand it? Oh, is he on mute? Run away, you fucking idiot. You retard.
Okay, so this is what we typed into chat. So let's say we have world W1, and world W1 has chemical formula H2O represent water. World 2 has other liquid as H2O, and they might not use the term water, and they use a different term given different norms. Right now, what I'm wondering is, given this thought experiment, why would that serve as justificatory means towards semantic externalism whatsoever? Why does that raise credence for that view? Can you please answer that?
Why does
Because I
it create credence for
understand
the
the
view, you fucking
proposition.
retard? So I don't know, maybe if you
Mhm.
didn't, state it when you were doing your dumb fuck reiteration of what I was telling you, right? But look, clearly, even when it says when you wrote it down, look what it says here. Um, and that term given different norms, right? So the term, right? There's a different term, right? There's a form of a word that means the same thing that is different because of the society and because of the norms. That's changing independent of the mind, you fucking retard. Holy shit. You're a fucking
That's
moron.
not
And
even
by the way, that's
true
not even what I
because
wrote out. That's not even what I spoke to you, right? That was kind of your
well,
dumb
that
fuck
is
reiteration. So
what
I
you
just want to be
spoke.
really clear when I say it again. Shush. Right? Anyways, look, the idea is that it motivates the view because you're creating an external, or sorry, you're not creating an external environment. You're creating a word that's different from water, and you're saying it's based off of, or you're saying it can be based off of different external norms, the environment, the cogitative viewings of other people in society creating the norm, and etc. Right? These are all things that are obviously pointing towards semantic externalism. Do you understand that? Do you understand that, or
Well,
are you
that
just a retard? You didn't track when I
well,
told
you
you what
actually
semantic
just begged the
externalism
shit out of the
was?
question because what I asked you to motivate why it does point towards that thesis. You actually didn't, you know,
Yeah, I did.
establish that derivation relation.
Yeah,
So
I did.
Wait,
I
just
pointed
let
it out
Cap
for you, you
finish.
fucking idiot.
Just let Cap finish.
you seem overly dumb. So this is what we're gonna do. Right, semantic externalism is the thesis that meaning is constructed by other means of the world outside of the mind. Right, you want to say something like the two worlds. Right, W1 has the formula H2O represent water, and this other world has a different word for the meaning of the term water. Right, or a different word for the meaning of the term. Right, there's different terminology that encapsulates the same meaning. What I take this to be saying is just something like, well, you could have two different propositions that express the same meaning, but their syntactical content is not going to be the same, right? I don't understand why that motivates
Two
semantic
different
externalism at
propositions,
all.
but they're syntactical wait, I'm sorry, they're syntactical what?
Yeah, you could have one. You could have the same proposition. Actually, I misspoke. You could have the same proposition where the syntactical form is different, right? But what I fail to understand is why that's going to motivate semantic
The same
externalism
proposition where the
whatsoever.
syntactical form is different.
Yes, retard. Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah, it just seems more probability raising that it's because of these things there could be in society or some other different norms.
Oh, so your argument is not actually your argument's probabilistic. Okay, and what's your theory of
Yeah,
probability?
what's your
There, retard?
issue with Bayesian probability theory? Go ahead. Challenge it.
Well, I don't understand why I have to challenge it. I just want you to motivate
Well,
the
yeah,
Bayesian
because
norm.
it's left up here.
Because you
You want
could
me
be
to
an
give a
eliminativist
motivating
about the
argument in
hold
favor
on,
of it?
hold on, stop talking,
Now
retard.
answer the
You could be a
question.
well, that's not my burden given that I haven't made a claim
That's
on
not
whether or
your
not the Bayesian
burden.
norms.
That's not your burden.
Yeah, that's
Okay, do
not
you want
my burden.
Bayesian probability theory to stand for the conversation? Do you accept it?
Well, I'm agnostic on the view, right? I just want to know
Well,
if
you're
you can
agnostic.
motivate
Okay.
I just want
Wait,
to
so
know if you can
retard, are
motivate
you
the Bayesian
agnostic on
norms,
all
please.
forms of probability theory?
Just motivate the Bayesian norms, because
Hello?
given
Answer the
that I can
question. Wait,
infer
wait, hold on.
that
Answer the question.
well, that's your
Retard, are
burden right
you an
now.
agnostic on all
I'm
forms
not
of
going to answer
probability theory?
questions until you fulfill your burden. So go ahead and motivate the Bayesian
Wait,
norms.
answer the
You could be
question.
an
Wait,
eliminativist
wait.
about
Why
the
are you
prior
dodging
talk,
from that question,
such that.
retard?
So go ahead and motivate the Bayesian norms.
Wait, hello? Wait, am I like?
Fulfill your
Okay,
burden,
wait,
bitch.
I'm gonna ask him to answer the
Fulfill your
question
burden,
again.
bitch.
Wait, we're gonna force him
Fulfill
to
your
answer
burden,
the
bitch.
question. Are you
I'm no longer
agnostic
going
on
to
all
entertain
types
these questions until you
of
meet your burden.
probability theory? You fucking retard, you dunce, right? You
Fulfill
fucking
your
turd.
burden, bitch.
It's my burden. It's my
Mm-hmm.
burden. Oh, so it's
Because you're
my
using
burden to
Bayesian
say,
norms within the
yeah, I'm
argument. I'm
not
asking you to motivate
agnostic
those
on
norms.
all types of probability theory or not. Really, retard? That's my
How is
burden.
that pertinent to the dialectic right
Holy
now? I'm
fucking
asking
shit! Just
you
answer the question.
why
Why
we
are you
should
running away?
adopt Bayesian probability
Wait, why
theory
are you
over
like
another,
obviously
or why you
obfuscating away
can't
from
be a
that? Wait, hello. Wait, knock, knock, knock.
phenomenal
Wait,
eliminativist
retard.
about
I'm
the
gonna
prior
Hello.
moderate the
talk.
Wait,
conversation since it's
wait,
everybody.
Cap. Wait, why aren't you answering that question? What's wrong?
Because
Why
I don't
won't
see
you
why
answer
it's
that
pertinent to
question?
the dialectic, given that you
Wait,
just
wait,
gave
wait,
yourself
wait,
a
wait,
burden.
Cap. Wait, why won't you answer that question? No, I'm just kidding. I already
Yeah,
know
because
why.
I
So
don't
fuck
see why it's
you.
pertinent
I'm
to the
gonna push you
dialectic,
envelope on you
given
now.
that you just gave
But
yourself a
anyways,
huge
look.
burden. So motivate the Bayesian
Hold on. Give
norms.
me 1 second, and I'll type something up for Bayesian theory.
Oh, so you're gonna go to ChatGPT. You're gonna be like, give me a
Mm-mm-mm.
defeater for phenomenal eliminativism about the prior talk. Or you're gonna go to ChatGPT. You're gonna be like, why can't we be an eliminativist about the prior talk? Or you're gonna be like, motivate the Bayesian
Mm-mm-mm.
norms. So yeah, go ahead, go to ChatGPT. Go ahead and
And
ask
wait,
Google Gemini to motivate the
here.
Bayesian norms.
What's your field of epistemology again?
Field of epistemology. I don't even know what that's saying.
What? I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, I don't know what you mean when you say field of epistemology.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! Yeah, so have you not looked into like objective Bayesianism, subjective Bayesianism? Have you not looked at?
Can you
Have you not
motivate
looked at
any of the Bayesian
infinitism,
norms at all?
coherentism? Have you not looked at these theories of truth and these epistemological views?
Theories of
You
well, I've
haven't
looked
like
into theories
grounded
of
one
truth.
for that?
I've looked into theories of truth, but like you gave yourself the burden, so I'm gonna wait till you fulfill this
Okay,
burden, and then we're
okay,
gonna move on.
okay. So I just presume you're agnostic then on epistemology then too, right?
Fulfill your burden, bitch.
Wait, hello? Retard,
Fulfill
hello?
your burden, bitch.
Hello,
Don't
hello,
ask me any more
hello?
questions. Fulfill your burden, bitch.
Bruce, you
This
are
thing is a
kind of
retard. He
pivoting
doesn't know
from the
anything
point. So let's address
about
that.
epistemology. It's fine.
Fulfill your burden, Goofy.
I mean, like,
What's taking you so long,
do you know
man?
what a Bayesian inference is then? Presumably, since you don't know fucking jack shit, you don't know what a Bayesian inference is, right?
Here comes the little Q&A session instead of fulfilling his burden. This
Hello,
guy's so
retard?
goofy. I'm not doing this little Q&A session,
Cap,
man.
if
Okay,
you
he doesn't know
want,
what a
Fulfill your
Bayesian
burden.
inference is. He's a
if
retard.
Cap,
Anyways, a
what
Bayesian
you can
inference,
conclude on this point,
that is like the
then we can
motivator.
move on
We're
to
not
That's the
doing a little
motivator
on the
Q&A
for
previous
session,
part.
for
nigga.
Bayesian theory, right? That's like the main. That's like the main motivator. Like when you create a Bayesian
Wait, what's
inference,
the main
right?
motivator?
And when someone creates a Bayesian inference,
You understand that Bayesian inferences presuppose the Bayesian norms, which I'm asking you to motivate right now,
what
retard?
the fuck are
Are
you
you just
talking
fucking
about? I'm
stupid?
saying it's a normal
Are you this
pattern. You
dumb?
fucking retard. Were you paying attention to what I
Are
just
you
said?
this
You fucking
stupid?
idiot.
When
Were you
you
paying
make a
attention at
Bayesian,
all? You
your
retard.
motivation for
Holy
the
fucking
Bayesian
shit.
norms is
And now that
that
he's
people
actually
can
looked
make
up the
Bayesian
fucking term, notice how
inferences.
he's trying to pipe up like a
Oh
retard
my
instead of
god,
dodging and
your
obfuscating
motivation,
earlier. Yes, obviously, right? But
Alright,
look,
oh wait,
motivation for
hear
the
it. Like,
Bayesian
did you
norms
not
is
hear what
that
I said
people can make
earlier?
Bayesian
hold on,
Like,
inferences.
Cap.
Are you dead ass, Bruce?
Just Cap. Wait, Cap. Just call on me. Listen, just stay on the main point. Cap, if you want, we can conclude. It seems like we're not really getting anywhere.
I just want to know, like, is he dead ass right now? Like, is he not? Is he like trolling me or something?
Huh?
Like, Bruce,
Wait,
are you
why are we
following me?
forced to conclude when I'm trying to give a motivator
Hold
and
on, hold on, hold on.
Just
I
said
just
if
in
you wanted
reference
to.
to probability theory
Are you
from
trolling me? Are you
what are
trolling
you
me right
talking
now?
about, Ash?
I said if you wanted to, because it seems like you guys aren't getting anywhere.
Yeah, we could conclude because this
Well, I think he got
retard.
blown out on all aspects, and his challenge to semantic externalism was retarded. So, like, who's like, are we having someone judge it or just a just a
We're
recording?
just
Hold
gonna
on,
get
let
a
me
post-rec
close this
judge,
statement real
and
quick.
then
Let
whoever
me close
wins,
it.
or sorry, Cap, just hold on. Whoever gets declared as the winner, you're gonna move up on the
Well, that's great. I'm
leaderboard.
gonna keep blowing his back out. Right? You're not gonna save him, anyways.
Oh my gosh.
Look, right.
Wait, but are you dead ass with that
Wait, wait,
motivator
wait.
though?
What's
Like,
your
are you
issue,
serious?
Ash?
Are you dead
Wait,
ass
Ash,
serious?
what's your issue? Can I not keep like
Well, you
fucking
guys
tearing his
already
head off
did, and
and his
Bro,
spine
we're
I
out
don't
already
know if
gonna
you're
get a
dead ass
post-rec
serious with
and
that
then
judge.
gutting
motivator.
him out?
I just want to know if Bruce is dead ass serious with that motivator. Like, I want
Anyways,
to know.
right. Yeah, so the motivator is the patterns behind the Bayesian inference, you fucking retard. You weren't paying attention, and then you just like looked up the term. Try giving like
But
this like
that's not
obvious
what you
like
said
terrible
before, Bruce.
response.
That's not what you
But
didn't say nothing
anyways,
about no
right? So
patterns, nigga.
back to what I was saying, right?
That's not
We're
what
gonna
you
put the
said
donkey
before.
on
See,
local
now,
mute or
now he
something.
realized his blunder, and now he's trying
Hold
to
on.
change it up. This is crazy. He realized his blunder,
Yeah.
which was
Anyways,
presupposing the Bayesian norms. Now he's trying
let
to
me
change
just
it up,
get this
talk about
typed up real
patterns.
quick. But
Nigga, this
yeah,
is
it's
crazy.
probably just gonna be based off of a Bayesian inference and the patterns that people take when creating a Bayesian inference. So that'll be what the
Based
argument's
off
mainly
of that.
based around. But let me just finish
What is this
formatting it
guy
real
even
quick.
saying?
So I'm gonna like make sure he's like on mute
What
so I
is
don't
this
have to hear
dude?
this
Is
retard
he
speak.
dead ass right now? Is he dead ass right now? What the fuck are you even
Why did
saying?
the other judge
Your
leave,
motive.
Adam?
Hold
I
on.
don't know.
Your motivator for the Bayesian
Is he just
norms
gonna get in like
on
all
the.
this
Hold
quicksilver
on,
rhetoric
nigga.
right now?
Hold on, nigga. I just want to flag this for the rec.
Mhm.
Your motivator for the Bayesian norms is based off Bayesian inferences and the patterns included within those inferences, nigga. You do realize that when you make a Bayesian inference, you already presuppose the Bayesian
Mhm.
norms. In which case, you could just be a phenomenal limitativist about the prior talk, and you don't even get the Bayesian inference at all. What the fuck are we talking about here? I'm asking you why we should adopt Bayesian probability theory, and your motivation is that niggas can make
Oh wait,
Bayesian inferences?
DBA I could
Are you
use.
just
I could just
retarded?
use DBA.
Are you dead ass right now?
Wait, oh my god, I'm like retarded. I could just use
Are you dead
DBA.
ass?
Holy shit. Wait, Cap,
Wait,
you're a
Bruce, are you
smart
dead
guy,
ass?
right? Do you know what the wait what? Okay, you're retarded. Anyways,
Bro,
do
I'm
you
just
know what the
asking, are you
Dutch
dead
book
ass with that
argument
motivator
is?
for the Hold on, hold on. Are
Hello,
you dead ass with that motivator for the Bayesian
hello.
norms? Yeah, I can hear you.
Wait, answer my question. Are you familiar with the Dutch book argument?
Yeah, no, I'm not unfamiliar. You can go ahead and
Of course, you're
explicate
not
that.
fucking familiar with it. All right. Premise one: rational agents should avoid situations where they're guarded to lose. Premise two: if you degree, or sorry, if your degrees of belief don't follow the rules of probability, a clever, better um, can construct a set of bets that guarantees you lose money. The first conclusion is thus rational agents should have beliefs that obey the rules of probability. And then premise three there is the correct way to update those probabilities would then be with new evidence that comes in given by a Bayes theorem. Of course, then we would go into the next argument here that I'm typing out for the Bayes theorem. So let me just get
Bro,
in
you
on that real
finally
quick.
gave a structured
Um,
argument instead of that question
Anyways,
begging
yeah, I'm
bullshit
gonna
you
like
gave
give that out
before.
real quick. Do you want me to like
So
type
I
any
guess
of
my
these out by the way
questions
or
will
not?
be hold on. In premise one
Do you
of
want
the
me hello?
argument.
Do you want me to
Hold on,
type these out or
retard.
no?
I have a question for you. In premise one of the structured argument that you gave, which I'm very proud of you for giving that, right?
Like
What's going to be the
I didn't realize
normative
Swerve. I
view
didn't
that you're
realize that like
operating
I could
under
just
for
use
premise
that
one?
for
What's your
Bayesian
account of
probability
normativity,
theory. Like I
retard?
just
Wait,
like
wait, wait.
my mind
Bruce,
like
just answer
completely
his
blanked because
question
it's
real quick.
4:30 in the morning. Like I just like I'm so tired right
Yo,
now.
Bruce,
My
can you
mind
answer
just
that
like
real
blanked.
quick?
But
In
anyways,
Listen, Bruce,
premise
did
just
he answer my
one,
answer his
question?
question.
in premise one of the argument that you just gave, what's your account of normativity? Because you could be something akin to like a normative error theorist, or you could just take conceptual error theory about normativity. So, what's your account of normativity there? And then after that, we're gonna ask you to motivate that thesis, please. So go ahead,
Huh?
Bruce. Go ahead, baby
What'd you
boy,
say?
Bruce. Yeah, I asked you, what's your account of normativity for premise one of the structured argument that you just gave?
Wait, you asked for the normativity?
What's your account of normativity? And then I want you to motivate that
Probably
view.
Probably some type of like instrumental rational view.
Okay, can you motivate that view?
Well, I'm not going to motivate a view off of another view, off of another view. I'm going to keep
Well,
continuing
in
with what
order
I
for
was
your
saying.
argument to go through,
Anyways,
premise
did you answer
one,
my
you just
question,
agreed.
Ash? Ash,
Hold
like I
on,
know you
you
just
just
forced me to answer your
agreed
question, but
that.
did you answer my
All right, hold
question?
on, Cap.
Hold
Just
on,
give me a
Bruce.
second. Just hold on. What'd you say?
Yeah, it was a simple question. It was simply just, you want me to type the arguments out in chat? And you didn't
That's fine.
respond.
Yeah. You can type it out, and Cap, you can just respond, and then we can go from there.
You just agreed that
Wait,
premise
B-Swerve,
one
are you not? Wait, do you not
presupposes
fuck with
some
that?
normative thesis. So I'm
Do you not
asking,
fuck
what's the
with?
argument
Wait,
for
hold on.
that
Do you not
thesis,
fuck with
Bruce?
instrumental rational?
Fulfill your
Rationale.
burden. Motivate the thesis.
You not fuck
Fulfill
with
your
that?
burden.
Well, I don't care for you to just say, wait, make an argument for that. Wait, make an argument for that. Wait, make an argument for that. Right? You're a retard. Straight up shush.
Fulfill your burden, Goofy.
Ask him to motivate the language he's using to formulate
Are you gonna
probability theories.
fulfill your burden,
This
nigga?
guy's giving amps to him in chat.
I don't even need them amps. I don't even need words.
Um.
I want you to motivate the normative thesis that premise one presupposes via
Anyways,
your own admission.
you want me to
You
like
admitted that
motivate the
premise one
normal, which is
operates under
pretty
a
funny
specific normative
considering you
thesis.
have an actual
So
Hold
challenge
on.
to
motivate
All
the
right.
view, retard.
P1, P2, or P3, but it's fun.
I'm bringing
Is
premise
this
one
you
into contention
motivating
right
the
now,
view
bro.
he's
Let me
asking
just
for?
formulate a new argument in favor of the
Can
So
normal.
you
you're
just motivate
so
the
you're
view
going to
he's
the third.
asking you for?
So you're going
But
to the
wait,
third
but like
argument.
Ash, you realize that if I motivate the view and then I motivate it with another one, he's going to keep being pedantic and asking me for an argument or for a motivator for that over and over again. Like, do you
Nobody's
notice how
being
the
That's
first
fine.
pedantic.
Then
original
you can
argument was in
conclude.
favor? Shush. You notice how the first original argument was in favor for semantic externalism, and then
By
like
your own
we've gone
admission.
off
Hold on, hold
onto
on, hold on.
three
I'm gonna
different
flag
tangents
this for the
because
rep.
Cab just keeps asking arguments for
Hold on, mute
arguments.
this nigga real
He's being
quick. Hold
hyper
on,
pedantic on
moderator, please.
purpose, and it's like
All right,
Moderator,
hold
really
on. All right,
obvious.
both of you just
And
please,
like
mute
Mr.
him.
I'll give the argument, but
Oh,
like I'm
please.
just like trying to type it up, and like Cap is like talking in my ear like a retard
All
because he
right,
Hold
doesn't
on,
Cap,
know
let's
can you
mute
anything
this
of what
nigga
just
we're
real quick.
give
talking
him a
about.
I have something I
second
want to
and
say
let
real
him
quick.
type out? Cap, can you just let him type out the argument, or did you really want to say something right now?
Yeah, I just have one thing to say.
All right.
Bruce, by your own admission, premise one presupposes this normative thesis. So no
What
shit, I'm gonna ask you to motivate the view. But
is
yeah,
he
that's all I
talking
gotta say.
about?
I'm gonna
And
give you
he's
3
on
minutes,
local
nigga.
mute, so I can't hear him.
You got 3 minutes, nigga. Type out this lame ass
Who
All
argument.
hears
right.
Go
what
ahead and
He
hit up
said
the
voice?
GPT.
he said you can just type out the argument. It's fine.
He wants me to type it out.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait for the. Yeah. Hold on.
You got 3 minutes, nigga.
He said that you have 3 minutes, or he's just gonna conclude.
No, I don't fucking care for him to run away from the fucking conversation. He's a retard.
Keep in mind, this is about the third
Um,
argument this nigga's giving me, and none of these have been
I
successful
mean, like,
thus
wouldn't
far.
like
I don't think he's
wait, hold
proven a
on, who
single
in here
point.
is is Beastwerf still in here?
Speedster.
Wouldn't like the
This
canteen
nigga trying
argument
to
be
go to
fine?
Speedster.
Like canteen has some pretty strong views. Like, don't you think like I don't know? I'm just trying to think like what type of
What type
author
He
of
knows he can't
argument?
motivate it. That's why he's like cooked. He's like Stunlock right now. He's trying to he's
like a
scrambling to
Kantian
make an
type of
argument for
argument,
this shit.
like a Kantian based argument. Like you fucking with that? You
I mean,
fucking with a Kantian
not for
based
this.
argument?
No, probably not. No.
He's
No.
scrambling to make
Okay,
an argument
Ew,
for
hold
this
on.
Boars
shit.
is speaking. Ew.
Oh, okay.
You said what, B-Swerve?
I don't know how you would form like a Kantian argument for
Well,
like
it would be
premise
something
one and
like
premise
wait, it would be
like would entail like a contradiction,
like
over the categorical imperative.
if you want an end, you are rationally committed to willing the necessary means to an end, to that end. Then like P2 is like you will the end of avoiding guaranteed loss, and then premise 3, coherent probabilistic updating is a necessary means to that end. The conclusion is that you're rationally committed to
He has
coherent
1 minute and we're
probabilistic
concluding.
updating. Like, what do you think about that?
I mean, I wouldn't use it, but he's just gonna ask for the argument for premise one probably.